I am begging you to listen to transmasculine people about our experiences. I don't enjoy the privilege cis men do. I don't get treated as a cis man, and cis men make it very obvious that they don't see me as an equal. Once I started passing, I noticed that actually women and femmes treat me way differently and very harshly. Like, I hope you could understand why it feels really bad to be treated like a predator or like I'm violent just based off of my presentation. Like, that's stereotyping. So where does this leave me? I am no longer included in queer spaces because femmes forcibly remove me from them because they are threatened by masculinity, and cis men. So as a transmasculine person, I hope you could see where this leaves me. I feel very lonely, I feel very hurt, I feel very excluded from a community that should be welcoming to me, but can't let go of their preconceived notions of what masculinity means.
I suggest you stop whining like a little bitch.
So that person we just heard from in the first clip there with the big bull ring in her nose, who is a biological woman that identifies as a trans man, is very, very upset because she's not treated like a cis man. Well, no shit. It's because clearly you're not. And it doesn't matter how deep you try to make your voice sound, you're never going to get treated like anything other than exactly what you are. And that's a woman. Anyway, welcome back. Thank you guys so much for joining me. So I have a very quick and very crazy Clown World update for you guys today, and as usual, we have very little time to waste. So let's get into it. Now, if you please your attention on the screen for a moment. So this is a profile picture from a lesbian dating app. So this fella here is Jupiter, 39 years old. Now, Jupiter is a biological man that identifies as a trans woman and calls himself a transbian or trans lesbian. Now, I don't know how well you guys can see the sign over Jupiter's shoulder there, but it says Babe Cave. Babe Cave. So Jupiter's pronouns are she, her, and Z, here, here's. What?
Man, you are one pathetic loser. No offense.
Let's keep this party rolling with this foul-mouthed old-timer who is very, very upset that Donald Trump didn't have to pay $500 million to keep the government from seizing his properties in New York City. Apparently, this guy is totally fine with the communist takeover of this country. Roll it.
Well, once again, the orange Jesus gets a break. We just can't stop giving him a break every fucking turn in the road. Just think about this. The court just lowered his required bond today to $175 million, which is roughly $300 million less than what he owes the state of New York, the people that live in the state of New York. When is this fucking shit ever going to end? We have catered to this asshole every step of the way. And all he wants to do is overthrow the government, become a dictator. I mean, I don't get it. I swear to God, I don't get it. I don't know. The courts are collapsing around us, starting with the Supreme Court. The last day, the day he's due to deliver, they say, nah, that's okay. You don't have to come up with the full amount. Come up with a third. We're good. What the fuck? I can't. You know what? We've really lost our way. We really have. Every single time this guy has been cutting a break. For what reason? Who does he own? Did the Republicans own everybody? This is sickening. This is pure fucking sickening.
What did you say? What the f*** did you just say?
And all he wants to do is overthrow the government, become a dictator. I mean, I don't get it. I swear to God, I don't get it.
You are a fucking moron.
Clearly, TDS, also known as Trump Derangement Syndrome, has broken that old fella's brain. Anyway, next up, so this lovely young lady says that being on time is white supremacy. This should be good. Roll it.
being on time is white supremacy, because what are they always on time to do? Oppress. I'm always going to be 10 to 15 minutes late because that's the correct time, according to my people.
What the hell is wrong with you people?
Hey, where are the white women at?
All right, next up we have this young lady who identifies as a trans man and is also a preschool teacher. Now, I think we could all probably agree on one thing. This person shouldn't be teaching any young kids anything ever. Roll it.
If you want to know what it's like to be trans and work with children but not pass as the gender you identify with, let me tell you. I work with preschool age children, about 3 to 4 years old. I guess my boss sent out an email to like the staff and the parents of my room, letting them know that I'm trans and like what pronouns I identify with and stuff. My coworker is great. She has never misgendered me. And when I'm in different rooms, some of the kids will ask me like, are you a boy or a girl? Because my hair is kind of like a mid-length, but it's short enough that it applies to the kids' logic of like boys have short hair and girls have long hair kind of thing. On my first day in the room, one of the kids asked me how I'm a boy if I have this thing. And then she pointed at like her nose where my piercing is. I've actually had kids correct other kids on my pronouns, saying that he's not a she, he's a boy, and like correct other kids. It's so cute. I've seen parents correct their kids too. The other day I was leaving work at the same time as one of the kids, and she was talking about me to her mom, and she was like, yeah, like, no, but she doesn't, whatever. And then the mom was like, yeah, like, he doesn't do whatever, and like kept talking. And I was like, that's just so nice. No one's made it like an issue. We're still like having these conversations, which is literally the sweetest thing ever. Like on one of my like first days, one of the parents dropped off her daughter, and she asked me if her daughter had called me a girl the day before, because apparently, I guess, she had told her mom that. And I was like, no, they just call me my name, because we're usually talking to each other. And she was like, I'm sorry if she called you a girl. We have a lot of books at home. And I was like, that's so nice. Like, she didn't have to, but she did. I've just had such a great experience. And
What did you say?
yeah, like, no, but she doesn't whatever. And then the mom was like, yeah, like, he doesn't do whatever, and like kept talking. And I was like, that's just so nice.
What the does that even mean? I don't even understand what that means. That sounds like some bullshit to me.
So this next clip is, well, slightly alarming. So this young lady who identifies as a trans man does before breast reduction surgery and then after reduction surgery. And then watch the very last clip here. The smile on this person's face is, well, creepy. Roll it.
Surgery July 4th, so these guys are limited edition. What are you gonna do about it? Oh my god, my boobs are gone. What the f? The shirt says mentally ill on it.
I guess it is a little creepy.
So this next clip is another crystal clear example of what this whole gender ideology does to a young, impressionable mind. And another thing is, they expect us to remember all their pronouns, but they're constantly changing them. Roll it.
I may have to buy new pronoun pins. In 2019, I came out as genderqueer, and I started using they/them pronouns. At the time, I hated the idea of being masculine, but I really didn't think that much about the feminine part. But I'm very much enjoying being on Feminizing HRT. This flag seems to fit a lot more than I thought it would. The friends of the person that I'm dating say that I'm a very stereotypical lesbian. Apparently we have very big energy. And at the moment, I seem to be very okay with she/her pronouns and being called a girl. Maybe it's the novelty, maybe it's the passing as androgynous, or maybe it's the validation, who knows. So I think I'm going to change my pronouns to they, she. Unfortunately, that means having to replace like 8 pronoun pins distributed throughout my many articles of clothing. So I guess I'm going to be spending some time on Etsy.
Ha! That's it! Hold it right there! Pronoun trouble.
So this next picture has nothing to do with anything, but when I saw it, I thought, okay, sir, if you want to dress up in a cheerleading outfit and bounce around in your living room in the privacy of your own home, that's fine, live your life. But why would you take a picture and put it out there on the interwebs for the world to see? And another thing is, if this fella went out into public and walked into a ladies' restroom, the left would probably cheer him on and call him stunning and brave, right? Am I right?
The f*** is wrong with you?
Hey, real quick, before we go any Before we go any further, I want to give a huge shout out to the sponsor of today's video. And while I'm doing that, we have another video of this young lad getting a haircut. I showed a video of him getting a haircut, I don't know, about a month ago. And here's another clip. Nothing unusual about that, right? Anyway, today's video is being brought to us by the website culturalenrichment.com. That is cultural-enrichment.com. They have some pretty crazy videos over there. And, you know, it's good to arm yourself with information since we are in the middle of a culture war. So definitely go check them out. That is culturalenrichment.com. I will put a link to that in the description box below. So once again, today's video sponsor is the website cultural-enrichment.com. Now, if you'd like to sponsor the next video and help support the channel, there is a PayPal link in the description box below, and I will say your full name as a sponsor of said video unless stated otherwise by you.
Big nose.
So oftentimes in these videos, we see these people that identify as trans or non-binary brag about fooling really young people or really old people. A perfect example is that teacher we heard from earlier who was bragging about confusing preschoolers. So this young fellow who identifies as a trans woman talks about how he fooled his grandfather into believing he is now his grandson's girlfriend. It gets a little confusing, so pay close attention. Roll it.
My grandpa thinks that I am his grandson's girlfriend. And by his grandson, I mean previous pre-transition me, like who used to be me but is not me anymore. He thinks I am dating me, basically. And at first, I thought he was just being really supportive and like, oh yeah, he knows I'm trans and being really sweet. Because I was on Facebook and he made a comment about like looking really pretty or whatever, and you know, just like, I don't know, it's being really nice and saying like, hey, you know, Nancy's my mom, that she has like house plans for you and like a couple gifts for you from me, and I'm like, oh, that's really nice, you know, like I didn't know that he even knew I was out or anything, because like I never told him, no one ever told him. For like 2 months, I'm just like, yeah, he just knows I'm trans, cool, whatever. But the other day, I get a message on my Facebook, and he's like, hey, I still got those plants for you, please come get them. I'm like, well, I can't drive there because it's like 3 hours away and it's snowing and I drive a 2-door coupe. And this is where I knew that he didn't realize that I am who I am, because he said, oh, have Nick drive you. Nick is my previous dead name. So he said for Nick, his grandson, to drive me, who he thinks is Nick's girlfriend, up to go see him to go get these plants. I'm flattered, but to be honest, I wouldn't date Nick. I wouldn't date past me. But my grandpa thinks that I am his grandson's girlfriend, and I think it's hilarious.
Yeah, that's not funny.
So I'm sure at this point, most of you have probably heard about that crazy bridge collapse in Baltimore. And I just want to say prayers to everyone involved. It is a terrible, terrible situation that I can't even imagine being in. So with that being said, we're going to be wrapping up today's video with former Vice President Joe Biden's Transportation Secretary, Diversity Hire Pete Buttigieg. Now this is an older clip. I think this is like a year or two old. And in this clip, Pete Buttigieg insinuates that bridges and roads are racist. I'm not kidding. Anyway, guys, things are clearly getting very crazy out there, so please take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Till next time. Love you guys. Peace. Roll it.
If an underpass was constructed such that a bus carrying mostly black and Puerto Rican kids to a beach, or it would have been, in New York was designed too low for it to pass by, that obviously reflects racism that went into those design choices. I don't think we have anything to lose by confronting that simple reality, and I think we have everything to gain by acknowledging it and then dealing with it, which is why the Reconnecting Communities, that $1 billion, is something we want to get to work right away.
What the hell did you just say?
If an underpass was constructed such that a bus carrying mostly black and Puerto Rican kids to a beach, or it would have been, in New York was designed too low for it to pass by, that obviously reflects racism that went into those design choices.
That is without a doubt the dumbest thing I've ever heard. You are a f***ing idiot.
And you ain't black.